Brahmana and Vaishnava. The conclusive comparison between Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Translated by Bhumipati Das. Continuation 26. When the motive passion is mixed with the motive goodness, then a Brahmana becomes identified as a Kshatriya. When ignorance is mixed with passion, one is known as a Vaishya. And when the motive ignorance is prominent, then one gives up the motive goodness, the status of a twice-born, and becomes known as a Sudra. Since materialistic Brahmanas are conditioned by the material motive goodness, they accept various varnas within the material kingdom. When they are situated in the non-material kingdom, free from material qualities, they become known as transcendental, impersonalist Brahmanas, in the form of knowers of exclusive pure consciousness. When they are in the non-material kingdom, free from material qualities, and endowed with knowledge of both matter and spirit, they become known as yogis, in the form of mixed jnanis. When they are in the non-material kingdom, free from material qualities, those yogis who are knowers of Brahman, endowed with all spiritual qualities, are known as devotees of Vrajendranandana, who is the personification of spiritual pastimes. Therefore, all living entities are eternal servants of Krishna. Giving up their eternal propensities, these servants of Krishna become yogis, brahmanas, members of the four materially conditioned varnas, animals, birds, insects, flies, worms, plants, and so on. The Supreme Lord eternally enjoys pastimes in various forms as Svayamrupa, Prakash, Tadikatma, Svamsa, and Vibhinamsa. The Vibhinamsas are known as separated parts because there is a quantitative difference between them and the others like the Svamsa. But there is no difference in their spiritual qualities. Since the Vibhinamsas possess spiritual qualities in minute quantity, they are prone to come under the control of Maya, the illusory energy, of the fully spiritual Svamsa. But they are not eternally under the control of the external material energy. The impersonal Brahman is the incomplete manifestation of the Supreme Lord. Due to the Supreme Lord's complete manifestation, the same unbroken truth appears as the Paramatma, or Supersoul. When this feature of the Supreme Lord takes the role as controller of the living entities, he is known as Paramatma. The unlimited energies of the Supreme Lord are divided into three categories. His internal energy manifests his eternally relishable qualities in the form of his spiritual pastimes. His external energy creates superior and inferior undesirable conditions within finite time and produces the temporary nature of things. When his separated, marginal energy, the living entities, become controlled, they become enjoyers of the external energy. But when they are liberated, they eternally engage in the service of the Lord, who is the supreme enjoyer. When the infinitesimal living entities become inclined to serve the undivided supreme consciousness, they no longer remain controlled by the external energy. The multi-total energetic Vishnu, who resides in everyone's heart as the Supersoul, maintains entire universes through his external energy. The Supreme Lord, as the Antaryami, the inner witness, resides in the topmost abode of Goloka, in the spiritual sky of Maha Vaikuntha, in the three bodies of water, Karanodaka, Garbhodaka, and Shirodaka, in the Vibhanamsa living entities, and in the kingdom of Durga. In Goloka and in the Vaikunthas, he is eternally present in his original identity as Svayam Rupa and Svayam Prakash. He appears in the kingdom of Durga from time to time for particular purposes. Although the fully independent Lord is the master of Maya, he descends into her kingdom. His eternal associates, the Vaishnavas, can and do come to this material world in their eternal spiritual forms. When the Vibhanamsa living entities become averse to the service of Hari due to being subject to the control of Maya, they enjoy the fruits of their activities through their enjoyment-prone material minds and bodies. But when such living entities become free from the coverings of karma and jnana and devoid of material desires, through the process of sadhana bhakti, they then cultivate the favorable service of Lord Krishna. Being liberated from the bondage of Maya, they are established in the kingdom of bhava and prema, or ecstasy and love, and become famous as sadhana siddha devotees. Due to being situated in the marginal position, living entities who are averse to Hari assume the nature of mixed consciousness. In other words, when the marginal living entities mix with the external energy, they consider themselves the enjoyers and then enter the material world. The cause of the spirit souls coming to live in this world is aversion to Krishna in his misuse of his free will. When this aversion becomes strong, the living entities accept a material mind and body in order to enjoy the temporary material world and thus come under the control of fruitive reactions. When, on the strength of pious activities, they become transcendental to the varnashram principles, which distinguish superior and inferior behavior in this world, they become Paramahamsas by perfecting themselves through sadhana. Those who become Paramahamsas are the Harijans, and those who fall from the platform of Paramahamsa and engage in fruitive activities while associating with matter are situated on the platform of Varnashram. Conditioned souls who are situated on the platform of Varnashram consider that the Vaishnava Paramahamsas are also situated on the platform of Varnashram. But when they see that the Harijans are actually different from the Prakritijans, they become favorably inclined towards Krishna. When conditioned souls take shelter of the Vaishnav's lotus feet without duplicity, they give up their ideas of impersonalism and fruitive work. The living entities in this material world who are subject to punishment from Yamaraj consider the Harijans who are offered obeisances by Yamaraj as Prakritijans. In order to exhibit their humility, the swan-like Paramahamsa Harijans follow Varnashram principles and thus deceive the Prakritijans. Actually, the Prakritijans and the Harijans are completely opposite in nature to each other, like illusion and reality. While remaining in the material world, the living entities display two different tastes regarding their object of worship. The first taste is for Brahman, which is impersonal, without variety, and without qualities. Because Brahman is eternally without variety, it is not a suitable object of enjoyment for the living entities who are impelled by the illusory energy. That is why those who have a taste for impersonalism imagine 5 or 7 demigods as worshipable, while in reality they are establishing various material things as their object of worship. The second taste is for eternal spiritual variegatedness. The worshipful object for such living entities has an eternal name, an eternal form, eternal qualities, eternal associates, and eternal pastimes. The impersonalists, however, consider that in the liberated state there is neither variegatedness nor spiritual pastimes. This mundane, proud explanation is conceived by those who are non-devotees of Vishnu. Some of these persons even deny the existence of the spiritual world and become known as atheists. There are 3 main opinions found among the living entities: full rejection of the existence of the spiritual world, full acceptance of the existence of the spiritual world, and the uncertain position of both accepting and rejecting the existence of the spiritual world. Among those who reject the existence of the spiritual world, some have concluded that the spiritual world has no existence at all. Some have concluded that its existence is doubtful, and others say it is unknowable. Those who fully accept the existence of the spiritual world realize the super-mundane personality of Godhead in 2 different features: Aishvarya and Madhurya, or opulence and sweetness. And those who both accept and reject the existence of the spiritual world consider that the transcendental, eternal existence of the living entities is to be either in complete knowledge or devoid of knowledge. Due to their lack of faith in the existence of the spiritual world, those who reject its existence endeavor for material enjoyment while living in this world. In their independent spirit, they do not serve anyone other than themselves. Following in their footsteps, those who claim to accept the existence of the spiritual world accept the impersonal Brahman as the supreme goal, while concocting various objects of worship for themselves.